What's good? What's good? What's good, man? Y'all bear with me for a second. Y'all know how I get down on my shows. It take me a minute to get it crunk. But I'm glad everybody's out there. Wakusu, man. Wake up, clean up, stand up. Welcome to the show, to the Maroon Society. Talking about some things. We're having an SVDL talk. You know, I want to apologize if I had any people out there waiting on my interview that was supposed to happen Tuesday, man. I'm not going to say unfortunate, just reality. Life kicked in. My grandmother, having reached that age, is in hospice care. So we received a call that it would be soon. And the family was beckoned to come say their farewell to dues, their byes. What's good, introvert? So that's what had me occupied, some family thing. Now I'm back, but in my absence, people had been filling me in about what's been going on. I had an opportunity to go back, and I know some of this is old to you guys. Some of this is probably old news, but it isn't old to me. So we're going to revisit it. All right, dig. So I had an opportunity to go back and watch the judgments. Let me congratulate myself on a very narrow win. Let me shout out to Double Master Teacher Blue, who did his damn thing. I felt like in the debate, I'm gonna be honest. Let me lend a critique to my debate. I'm gonna be completely honest. I feel like, because I know at that particular time, uh, um, it was the debate coming back up. We had postponed it. I had some things going on prior to that. Blue had some things going on, so it had gotten postponed and just totally, completely not revisited. I don't think he or I had either really put any type of emphasis on revisiting it. Once the league got back and got its feet again and began to uh, get its momentum. Thank you, Zero. She's not actually made the transition yet. We just went and said goodbye. And crazy, because I had made her my avatar before any of this. So look how the ego, look how the ancestors and the universe works. It's miraculous if you take the time to acknowledge it. Anyway, um, so I feel like, I'm gonna be honest, man, and I could be going out here on a limb with Blue. I feel like it was kind of thrown together. I've seen Blue do better work. I've done better work. I've seen him do better work. I feel like it was kind of thrown together, but it speaks to his ability to debate. Uh, so he and I'll be seeing one another again in debate. That's just how that thing goes. The top always gonna rub elbows. As far as me, I might as well go on and do the damn do. I got a third debate. Brother Rio, how's my mic? Is that clear? Can y'all hear me clearly? I need to make sure Brother Rio hears me clearly. Number one by 2 points. We're both the top of our league. I don't know. Should we wait to the playoffs to see one another, or should I get my third debate in? You have a third debate. You know, I'm confident enough that we would score high enough that we would still be in top billings. But should we go on and get this shit out of the way, dear brother? Get at me, man. If you got some good topics, some good ideas, get at me. I took some from I took some topics from the thing that Commissioner Angel was talking about. Let me make sure I have my pad on that. We'll be going over that. Few topics I liked, you know. Some could even be, improved on. Their good foundations for maybe developing some type of debate from those particular issues. If you haven't seen that, go back and check that out. Go back and check it out. Check out the scores. Check out the ranking. Check out the website, www.solardivisiondebates, right? Solardivisiondebates.com. Check out the website. Like I said, you can see my dear brother Rio got me by 2 points. So gravy. So gravy. We're going to see each other in the playoffs. Shouts out to the debaters. We having an SVDL talk. I invited Black Son up here. I heard that they jumped on his show and did my show earlier, man, and began to question him. It's all good. I still, have a unique and particular way that I ask questions, and I, still want to hear um, his perspective on that, why he felt the scoring was this way or that way. I haven't had an opportunity to go back and check his show out. I'm going to do that. So I dropped the chat in the link. Son, if you out there, jump on here, boom. Let's rap about it. Let's talk about Trevor, the infamous my little brother Trevor. Oh, they grow so quick, don't they? Don't they? They grow so quick. Trevor, Trevor, Trevor. All right, let's start. First of all, man, you know it ain't nothing personal. You already know that. So I know, and I'm just putting that out there as a disclaimer. I'm not saying that you're even taking it personal, just so that is already laid clear. It's just strictly this debate thing. Hey, man, you talk a lot. You talk a lot. And so it makes people want to say, where we were giving you a little, shoo shoo poo poo, you know what I'm saying? That's a little bruh bruh. You know, uh, to be real, when we was over at the arena, when I was over at the arena, we was all together at the arena, I think we provided. There you go. I see your eyeballs, man. If you have a moment, jump up here. Um, I think that provided a platform. It provided you a little shelter. It provided you that place to kind of get you, to flex your muscle a little bit. And we allowed it. You was like Wonder Pup. We allowed the nipping. Yip, 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 yip. You know what I'm saying? And so Wonder Pup grew confident, which was expected and we wanted. The thing we didn't know is how the confidence was going to be displayed. So it's just a matter of just big brother, big unk, taking you out there tussling with you. I remember when I thought I was feeling myself, I was about 13 or 14. My uncle's 7 years older than me. My grandmother, this is why this whole thing with my grandmother is crazy, man. It's so real. But she was very instrumental in my upbringing. She raised me. You know what I'm saying? I come from a matriarchal family. So she was, after my grandfather died, after her father made his transition, it was patriarchal. When granddad made his transition, my grandmother took the reins and did her thing. So she raised me. And I was feeling myself, and my uncle's 7 years older than me. So I was, kind of like a big brother, uncle. And man, I got out of line and he took me in the front yard, twisted me up, put me in a pretzel. I don't know if y'all remember. Y'all wrestling fans know what the pretzel is. Peace, grind. Y'all wrestling fans know what the pretzel is. So that's what it is, man. It's just a matter of just bringing my guy out here, man. We got to get our tussle on, man. I got to see. I love your confidence. I love your confidence. And it isn't about you not having confidence. It's just about you remembering who you're barking at. So it's not about you having lack of confidence. It's just about a position and an order in this thing. You know what I'm saying, youngin? It's a position and an order. Welcome to the league. You did a good job on Rio. I think you did a wonderful job. I didn't mean to gas you up. I didn't say it was all that close and this and that. I said I felt like you had material to work with. However, I have to say this, dear brother Trevor. After discussing with people, it was brought to my attention that, and it's my bias, being a black man, being having this love for the black community, that the debate wasn't how influential either Master P or Jay-Z was in the black community, in the black culture overall, but in the hip hop culture. And I thought that, that change, it made me look differently at the debate. I even went back and started checking out different parts of it again. I wish I knew how to edit. I'd have put a highlight together. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at it in the the structure of the debate, it's like, okay. However, you still did your thizzle. You still did just thizzle. There's potential there. There's nothing to sneeze at. I don't never want you to lose your legs or your confidence. I just want to put this ass whooping on you. You know what I'm saying? I just want to put this spanking on you. So you do it, so you know what it is. So that's what it is. What's been good out there with y'all, man? What's been good in the SVDL world or the debate world, period? What's going on out here with this, What's good? What's good in y'all life, man? I just wanted to make a comeback, talk about some things, definitely talk about the league and what I see in the league, and how this thing's going. I'm sorry I had to pull a pop-up on you. I'm just pulling a little pop-up, pulling the rabbit out of the hat, man. Seeing what's going on out there with the debaters, man. Get a little league talk going on. So jump out there and holler at me if you got some good topics. Oh, let me go over some of these topics. Okay, here I thought was a good one. Is the N-word exclusive to blacks? Is the nigga word, is nigga exclusive to us? That's a good debate. I'd be almost willing to debate either side on that. I'd be almost willing to debate either side on that. I'd be almost willing to, but that's such a good debate, and I think that would push and challenge the skills. I would almost be willing to debate either side on that. I don't know, because I could say I personally believe that it is exclusively our word, despite how I may feel about it, despite the way I may use it, despite how I defy it. That's what makes it ours, because I reserve the right to its usage, to its definition, to its sentiment. You know what I'm saying? To the occasion that it's speaking to. I, as a black person in America, that I, who have been labeled that, who embrace some of its tenements or components of niggerism, being a nigga, I think is an embedded part of the Black American, because it's a part of the Black American experience. There again, and I'm talking personally here. My take on the nigga word, I feel like it's a superpower. I feel like that nigga means being unconventional, being cunning, being swift, being daring, being challenged, being able to think outside of the box in a manner that a normal person, a conventional person, a person who can't adapt like that would be stuck. Remember, we even used to call shit nigger rigging. Man, let me nigger rig this. You got some tape? You got some tape? So nigger this. So that's why when my man get over and they be like, well, you use a term in endearment. I don't know. It's not like I'm saying I'm endearing this to you. I'm using it as a term. I guess it could be said that because I'm using it as a term of, I recognize your craftiness, your genius, how your get down. I'd be like, my nigga, woo, my nigga. I recognize that you turned on that superpower. You utilize that ability. Here's to me, the unfortunate reality of it, that we live in such a world, or we have been cultivated or forced to be in such a world that has honed an ability like that we have been shut out, marginalized, disenfranchised from full participation in any society, really society, to be able to use those what we call nigga abilities, that crafting, that cunning, that genius, for our benefit. When we have used it, then just like everything, this system, this white man or whatever, comes and snatches it, and because he's the only one that can get a patent on, he is the only one recognized. So there again, so invention after invention, genius after genius, brilliance after brilliance, and everything that comes with us ciphered right out of our community, ciphered right from us. So we resort to, if we want to keep any of that, those resources, if we want to maintain something for ourselves, we would, had evolved. We created the duality. We created a persona, a way of thinking, way of moving and operating, of getting it that speaks uniquely to us. And, shit, it was on some nigga shit, we call it, man, shit. Boy, I be trying to do the right shit. He ain't gonna make this nigga come out of me. That type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, feeling from that point, I feel like the word is personally exclusively ours. I could argue then, but then I could argue, say, okay, however, on some real shit, we have commercialized the word. We've commercialized it. We've sold it. We've commercialized it and sold it. And so when you do that, when you put it out there, you mainstream it, you commercialize it, it becomes something like, whoop, there it is, bling, bling, my nigga is in the same thing. Then there's no surprise when you see white boys fighting each other. What's up, nigga? Come on, nigga. What's up, nigga? Mexicans, what's up, nigga? Come on, nigga. When it's commercialized, when it's put out there like that, when it becomes a part of mainstream culture, when you sell it to commercialize America and it becomes a part of the American culture, yeah, shit. It falls under the First Amendment, freedom of speech, my nigga. My nigga. Falls under, so that could be argued. That's a good debate. That's out there, man. I might take that up. If I got any of my debaters out there, okay, that's what's up, Trevor. Oh, Angel, no peace, Angel, no notification, man. I just jumped on here, pop up, there goes son, he in the back. Just a pop up.
What's all this talk about the niggers? What's going on around here?
What's going on? Going over some of I was checking out the video where you and I were talking about the scores and this and how you was unhappy. So I just, watched the whole thing. And at the end, towards the end, Commissioner Angel goes over some debates. And one of the topics was, is the nigger word, is the N word exclusively black? And I was like, shit, that's one of them debates that, I'll push myself on. I could probably argue that from either position. And I was just given the various positions, and I was on the position now that if you commercialize it, if you sell it to mainstream America, you know what I'm saying? Then, when it becomes a catchphrase like, whoop, there it is, or bling, bling, or something like that, then, yeah, you basically lose your exclusive rights. You basically, yeah.
I got a curveball for you, Yanga. What if a person come along and say that the Spaniards invented that word? They throw a curveball at you, then what?
If a
say that word belongs to the Spaniards. So if the Spaniards per se, well, that wrong, we made that term. Negro.
I disagree with them.
Okay.
I would disagree with them. I wouldn't talk about the equivalent. I wouldn't say I'm talking about negro or nothing like that. I'm talking about nigga. Nigga not just in, it's a etymology and all of that shit we be throwing all behind to try to, either legitimize the word, justify the word, or whatever we do when we try to add scientific facts to it. I'm talking about the emotional, spiritual, social, cultural context of the word nigga.
Basically, you want to get it past all the semantics and goddamn word salad, right? Like, well, allies don't mean well, Biden himself jumped in the water, but now you know what? I'm teasing. Y'all know I'm gonna tease while I'm on here about allies. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. Yeah, no. So it's like that, man. It's like having, shit. Damn, you made me throw my thought. You talking about the Biden and shit.
I'm just saying during the debate, I wasn't actually saying Biden put on the scuba gear himself and actually planted a C4. I wasn't saying that, but, go ahead, gang. I'm just, I got the troll, right? I got the troll.
I ain't mad at it. Let's talk about that. What part of that?
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to see your show, so I don't want to be
Okay,
redundant. I'm not going to ask you to go over too much of
right.
what you went over before. But what about the scores? What did you? Let's start there. What didn't you like about the scoring? What did you feel like was fucked up? We started step one.
Well, my thing is, it was such a high caliber debate. I felt like the scores were just too low. That's all. It wasn't even about. Because I'm gonna be like you. I'm not gonna take nothing away from Rio. Rio's a hell of a debater. I thank Rio for that topic, but like those scores was just like, oh my god, those scores just stunk. I'm just like, really? Like it came down to me and Rio, arguing our point because it comes down to persuasion at the end of the day. And you mean to tell me that? I mean, just some of the points. And Solar and Angel did come on the panel and they explained their logic behind the decision. And I'm just like, really, really, Solar,
What did
really,
they
Angel,
say?
that's your
What did
argument.
they
Okay.
say? I
They were just okay. So let me.
to jump up here.
Okay, so one of the things that was said was like they were Solar was saying, well, Black Son, you couldn't really prove that Biden actually did it, and I'm just like, that's funny because if I'm in a car, I use the analogy of the bank robbery thing, I always use that analogy. Like if you hop in a car with me, let's just say me, you, and MD, we all hop in my car and I go rob a liquor store or a bank and come back in the car and we get pulled over, we're all going to jail, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so, allies, country of allies, whether it be Germany, whether it be, well, it wasn't Germany, but France and this and that. And I just explained, and I know they didn't agree with it, but, this is my analogy, just my 2 cents, Yanga. If you're allies, you're meaning you're allied with that country, meaning they're only allowed to go in those waters. That means they're all in cahoots with planning those explosives. That was my argument. So I'm not saying Biden per se, because he's kind of old. Not gonna say Biden put on a scuba gear himself and jumped into the water. When I say Biden, I'm saying Biden administration and anybody who's allied with Biden. That means the Prime Minister of England. Anybody allied with that. You follow me so far, Yanga?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's usually how that's how engagement of war works, meaning like.
What was the name of the debate? What was the title of the debate again? I forget. What was the
Did
title?
Biden,
Did Biden bomb?
bomb the pipeline, yeah. And I'm not saying that Biden himself did it. I'm saying anybody aligned with Biden partook in that. And then that was one part of the argument. Another part of the argument was, oh, my battery is low. God damn, Yanga. Oh, shit. Hold on.
Yeah, because I was going to say that's kind of large, son. Because that's, I think that the title of that could be kind of tricky. Because, like, you got something like, was Biden in cahoots? Or was it almost gives the impression when you say Biden that, and we know not Biden the person. We know this nigga is not motherfucking Commando Joe. But talking about America taking the lead in the charge. Did America lead the charge in the pipeline?
Hold on.
Yes, a lot of fun.
How about now?
Okay, that's better.
How about now? Is that good? Okay, sorry about that. My damn thing went dead. Yeah, all I'm saying is that when you say, or like I said, we just have two different perspectives. Like I said, when I say Biden, I'm including everybody that's allied with Biden, everybody that's down with the Biden, everybody in the EU. Basically, you don't go along with America. You're not going along with the American agenda. The Biden administration pretty much dictates to the rest of the world. And so, if not, then why was it that Biden was able to commit a terrorist act, or whoever it was? Let's just say Biden didn't do it. A terrorist act was committed against Germany. that pipeline because that pipeline feeds those people that fuel.
Hmm. Hmm. But
So all I'm saying in that argument was that, yeah, if you're aligned with that, if you're aligned with that country, whoever's doing those drills, then you're in cahoots with that shit.
that's kind of large. You don't think that's a large berth? Like it kind of when you say Biden bombed the
Okay,
pipeline, it kind of gives the impression that America led the charge. Even if allies were in cahoots, that
right.
America led the charge. I think it, had it been some other country,
Ooh, my dude, dude. Oh,
allies did it as accessory. So I get what
right.
you're saying, but the title could be, that's a lot to
And I
play
guess
with.
in a right, and I guess I also went on the assumption that everybody assumed that there's only so many major powers in the world. You got America, England, and Europe, and you got China, Russia, and Iran. I just assumed that everybody knew that those are the two major players at the end of the day. You know, um, but okay, it was cool. Everybody, like I said, it's oh shit, I got this phone thing. Okay, so yeah, that's it, man. But it's no really big deal. Like I said, the scores are done. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to do that little gripe, but let's get down to the real business.
Yeah, yeah, at the business though, man. And then again, Greg, it was a good debate. Like even Angel said, it was a good debate. The business. I was sitting up talking, talking to Trevor. He
Yeah.
said that he may look up, might want to look into that. We may can twerk and work something on that. Is the N word exclusive to black people? There was another debate topic: which is safer for policing, robot or man? What you think about that one? I thought that was
Ooh,
interesting.
ooh, that is interesting. Yeah, it's funny because me and Nature Mom just actually had this topic about AI, about AI taking our jobs. Um, you would have to get
Are y'all
into
gonna do that debate?
who? Me and no. Me and Nature Mom had that topic, but no, me and no. Trevor, he came onto the show was like, Black Son, if you know, me and Blue, we had a debate on my channel, and I'm like, dude, I didn't know you had a debate or you talked to Blue on your channel. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Let's not be so sensitive, Trevor.
uh,
Let's not get so wrapped up in the feelings, Trevor. The world don't roll around your channel, Trevor. Shit. I'm sorry. I have to get a little besides myself. I don't know. I just felt like, just a little sensitive there, Trevor.
What's going on with Trevor? Trevor did,
I don't know. You
Trevor get
tell
up there
me.
and Trevor did get up there and get sensitive. That's why I
He
had to
did.
tell
He did.
Trevor. I hadn't seen all the
Hold
shit.
on. Hold
I
on
hadn't
one
seen.
second. Hold on one second.
Yeah, we got to pick at Trevor. Yeah, pick at Trevor for that. I just had to get a debate. We're gonna get on that. Trevor and I are gonna get that debate. I like old Trevor Trev. Like I said, man, Wonder Pup got in the league. Got it off. He actually did. He fought a big dog his first time out the door. I hear what he's saying. Don't mistake what he's saying, and I hear it. He isn't like he's saying I'm not beating my chest like a gorilla. I'm simply saying I'm not scared of any of you guys. I don't fear
Right.
any of you guys. I get that.
Okay.
Introvert, yeah. Shouts out to Introvert. I think he came up with most of these topics. Shouts out to Angel. She was saying, I believe so too. I believe you said that in the video. It's a lot more on there. But these were just a couple I got. Yeah, but going back to my man Trevor. Trevor just came out the gate swinging. He got his nuts early in the game. He went up against the big dog, ranking number one, Big Rio. And he went
Right.
on and got that out of the way. I commend him for that. However, we don't want to have, false bravado. And it isn't about fear. I don't think I want to debate to instill fear in you. I love your confidence. I like to see that. I told you again, it's just about positioning. I think you're talking a lot. I think you have
I
said
second that motion,
yeah.
nigga. I second that motion.
I think you have said much. You know, I think you have said pretty much. So a debate is in order. I want, and then too, listen. Let me get off my high horse. I didn't want to debate at first, like I had told him. I'll make it known what I said. Like I had told him, yeah, I'm not gonna be your first debates out the gate. Because if I beat you, okay. However, if you beat me by some magic Mike Tyson moment, I do a repeat of KOT. Shouts out to KOT, but KOT got me in the playoffs, man. And it wasn't just his skills. Shouts out to his skills, but it was my lack of preparation. So I'm like, I'm not even gonna, you know. Now it's about points. It's about getting in there. So I'm trying to get debaters that have been in the league, that have chewed their thing, man. I'm like, man, you gotta debate Madan Kimet and KOT, and you know what I'm saying? You got to let some of these young phenoms get off. How you get top billing out the gate? You know what I'm saying? No, that's not how that works. But now, since you have talked yourself into a top billing bracket, I feel it is my duty to go on and go do what I got to do. So we'll get a debate up. And that goes for any debaters out there, man. Listen, I got one more debate. While I'm sending this shouts out to Trevor, to get this debate. That's for any debate out there. Come on, young scheme, young phenom. That's a young dynamo. Eventually I got to get a debate in with High Priestess Akasha. She's particular. She has particular taste. Look, she got up there again. Just I gotta pick at you, Trevor. She cuts like with a razor blade. She told Trevor, she said, when you come up with an interesting debate, when you come up with a debate that is worthy, I will let you. I said, okay.
Wow, she
Yeah.
said that.
Oh man. Please,
Buddy.
medic. He's cut.
Right,
I don't even think
right,
he knows he's cut. Yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah.
right,
Clean cut,
right.
precision.
I don't, yeah.
Yeah. So she's particular. So we had to find a debate for the queen. I had to, get at the queen. MD's coming into this thing. I'm waiting on MD's ass to come in here. I am waiting. I am looking forward to. I think MD has a lot of, and I'm not even going to just say potential. I think MD is there. You know what I'm
I
saying?
think the DMV's there too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think MD's there.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's, um, that I don't think we're gonna kid glove him like, we kind of do. We do our little brother there, little T. But I don't think we're gonna kid glove
Wait a
MD.
minute. Wait, hold on, yeah, hold on, nigga. Dang it.
Uh,
Dang it.
yeah.
I don't think they just caught that. Are you saying we Trevor's YouTube parents? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying we have nurtured a beast. I don't know. I remember when Trevor came on, he was just Trevor. You see Trevor,
Right.
you'd be like, Trevor was like, I don't know if any of you guys are old enough to remember Cheers. The show Cheers, the bar. And Trevor was like, when the show Cheers, they had this character that came to the bar so much, everybody knew him. He was Norm. So when he stepped in the bar, everybody be like, Norm. That's how Trevor was. Trevor hit the panel, everybody like, Trevor. And Trevor, you know how it is, man. You get to roll with them gangsters. We let him ride in the car with us. We rolling blunts around him, let him hold the gun and shit like that. Now he a full-blown knucklehead. You know what I'm saying? We didn't turn him into a full-blown beast. However, he's all over the place, though. He's challenging, he's barking,
I
this and that.
agree.
So sometimes you have to put people back in a position and a perspective. Like, hold on, youngin. I think he has that. I think he's gotten back in his mind the reverence for Rio. I think he knows now. Rio, like, okay. He's still, but not, listen, still not where it should be. See, I learned from that. You can't play with Trevor. You're going to have to go on the pool. It can't be close with Trevor. It can't be close with Trevor. It can't be, you're gonna have to go on and
Yeah, because according to Trevor, and he corrected me in the chat today, he was like, "Oh, Black Son, I got 81," and I was like, "He got an 81? I don't remember that, but okay, good for you, Trevor.
he did
That
his
means you
thing.
scored very high there, Trevor. But did he score 81? I don't remember that. I remember it being a 70 something.
Yeah.
Maybe
I
he could be
think he
tapped
did. I
in the
think they
chat
didn't
by
add his.
Commissioner. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they had forgot to add his Shucklebuck,
Shucklebutt.
his Hucklebuck,
Okay, okay.
yeah, his
Hucklebuck.
Hucklebuck when they
Okay,
added it
okay.
up. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, okay.
So I think if I'm not mistaken, you have to go back check it. Listen, if you guys haven't checked that video out, go check the video out. They go over the scores. They got all of them, all the debates. I think it was a Rio and I think Rio and Blue had a debate that hadn't been judged. When did Rio and Blue had a debate that hadn't been judged or something? Well, I can't.
Rio
Well,
and
go
Blue?
check it. No, it was
No.
it was you and Blue.
It was
You and
no. Me and Blue was the last. No. It's me and Asar. It was me, Asar, me and Rio, you and Blue, and then
It was
Trevor
somebody else.
and
It was
Rio.
somebody else. There's somebody else. I can't think. I
Somebody
can't
else.
really
Okay.
remember right now. I want to say.
Well, maybe
Blue
they
or
could
something.
type into the chat. Okay. Well, who else did Blue debate? He baited me. He baited you.
It may not have been Blue. It was somebody. I know it was another debate that it might have been another. Okay, no, Rio was like he didn't even want the Assad debate. It was Rio and Assad. And
Yeah,
Rio
that's right.
said,
Yeah, that's
and
right.
he was
Yeah.
like, nah, don't even, he didn't even want the debate judge. Shouts out, big ups for
Right.
that. Big ups for that. So he's gonna get his third debate. So he's just gonna go on to do another third debate. Yo, again, shouting out there, man. I'm open for a debate. So we had that debate topic. Was it robots? Is it more beneficial? Which is safer for policing, robots or men? Which is safer for
Wow.
policing, robots or men? That's a good one.
Can I see your license and registration?
Right.
You got 5 seconds.
You got 5
4,
seconds. Oh, fuck.
3, 2, 1, exterminate.
You fit the description. You fit the description. I bet they program nigga in it. I see that. See, we done made nigga such an American word. Freeze, nigga. That's just cop language. That's cop language. They gonna program that bitch into the robot. Freeze,
Oh, good
nigga.
Lord.
Yeah, man. No, man, that's, man, that's crazy.
Yeah,
That is crazy. Is it safer?
right.
But I mean, that's a hard fighting on because there's a lot of levels that would say, yeah, absolutely. For the suspect and for the officer by having a robot.
Yeah.
The detachment. Isn't policing a community thing? Just the detachment.
Well, not only the attachment angle, but that's capitalism at its finest because now you're trying to cut labor. You ain't got to pay no damn robot.
You gonna put? Oh hell yeah. Oh, you gonna make the working force obsolete. You gonna?
Yeah.
That's what it's shooting for. What's up, campgrounds? Peace. Yeah, man. You just that alone. But we've always seen this wave. That's what it brings. Look at industrialization. Was it MD was talking about like that one time slavery? Look at industrialization.
Right.
And the Civil War was falling on that. Then we look at, then we look at the after industrialization and the migration up north and out west. Then you look at what was it? Automation and roboticism.
Yeah.
When they started shit all the damn warehouse work, man. Ohio shut down, Detroit shut down. Those robots start replacing human labor. Central City, Cleveland's in ruins behind that shit. Detroit,
absolutely,
Chicago,
yeah, Detroit, yeah.
And
I always
the
say
Midwest is in ruins,
It was actually the the height of the middle class for blacks. That was
Yeah,
at the height, man.
yeah.
Detroit, man, shit.
Shit, Cleveland was a beast, man. That's what Rockefeller is from, and all that wealth that was in Cleveland. The industrialists, man, it was a lot of industrialists in Cleveland. You
Absolutely.
know what I'm saying? Those Midwestern cities, Chicago and all that stuff, man. Yeah. So after itemization, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. You guys know
Yeah,
what I'm
you got
talking
it.
about.
Automation.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, man. I mean, it just so now we go. So then we went into the technological age that we're in now, and it's just going to keep advancing, putting more and more disfranchising and marginalizing more and more masses of the people. That's why I said, really, shit. The only solution to me is, like I say, revolution. It's self-determination, man. Getting some land. And really, and you only really, and here's the crazy thing about having land in America, you really only rent it. If you're paying property taxes, you're really only renting. And anytime, like they say, if they can slap a highway through that motherfucker, do whatever they want to do, you're only renting. It's subletting. And then what they call it, subletting. So, but anywho, at least getting some land, getting something somewhere, get you some chickens and some goats. I'm not saying you have to go back to the Stone Age. I'm just saying, man, some self-determination, really looking at some self-sufficiency. Get you a garden, and that's only going to do a little something, but get you a garden. This heavy reliance on uh, grocery stores, this reliance on everything just a convenience for us and just hand it to us, the very sophisticated domestication of us. And no time do I see that more is like when we were going through those storms down here in Georgia and the power went out. Everybody was looking crazy. Wasn't no internet, wasn't no power, this and that. Like everybody forgot how to read a book. Sit down somewhere. Burn a candle and sit down somewhere. The energy was off the hook, and I knew if the energy was that exuberant, that all over the place in my crib, then I could only imagine what was happening in the city with the lights out. Niggas was off the hook, losing their mind. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. So that whole, so that's a good topic. That is a good topic. Which leads to, shit, we just had that whole discourse, that could even lead to other topics. And this was a good one. Should police departments be defunded?
Which side are you taking, Yaga?
You know what? That's one of those ones I would stretch my wings on.
Okay, you can say both sides. What you say?
Yeah, I would play with both sides.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I could take both sides of that. I've been around enough to hear both sides of the coin, and I think both sides have enough valid points that it would just really be all in the presentation.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Both sides have a lot of good solid points of why that is not the best idea, and then why it is the greatest idea. It just really would be in presentation. So I throw that out there, man. If somebody wants to take that, should the police be defunded? And I'm open to taking either side. Let's get it cracking.
So now,
third debate.
I got to ask. I got to ask this question.
Yeah.
Should people? I think we already discussed this, but you came up with a solution. But I still want to debate out of that. Should people who drink, smoke, eat, have a certain lifestyle be covered as somebody who is considered less of a risk as far as medical health care?
What do you mean covered? I think we said that before. What
No.
Covered?
Or higher premium. I don't know, higher premium.
Yeah, I think that basic, I'm going to tell you, I stick by that. I think that basic health care should be afforded everyone. I think that I would stick on that. If I was into politics and running for politics and shit, that would what I'd run on. You slap these industries that are making a fortune at selling us drugs. You slap them with a health tax. They have to pay a little more in taxes. You know what I'm saying? If the dope dealer can go to prison for selling marijuana or selling cocaine or whatever. How do we have big tobacco industry? So, and it's a
Well,
drug. Clearly, they say it's addictive. It's a drug.
right.
Sugar. It's addictive. It's a drug. But capitalism is such with the lobbyists. If you grease the right palms and pay off the right officials, certain drugs can be legalized. Certain drugs can be permissible, especially if the state or the government can get big portions off of it. So you know what? The state would have to maybe eat some of what they get off of that, and some of that would go to the people in the form of health care. I'd raise taxes on them and cut the state's uh uh uh
Now you said, okay, go.
yeah.
So I'm gonna have to ask you to define basic health care. So what would? Can you just name maybe 3 or 4 things that you would consider basic, and then maybe we can kind of discuss, go from there.
dental dental vision
Dental, okay. Vision, okay.
dental vision and shit, basic physical. If your arms broke, they cast it. If they, hell yeah, those 3 basics: physical,
Okay, so
dental,
you're talking
vision.
about any type of like if I fall from a ladder, everybody should be covered under that because that
Yes,
doesn't play a part.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Now. Okay, now that does sound reasonable. And I would even go as far as to say, yeah, even the eye exams. But now, dental. Everybody ain't got to eat candy now, sir.
Okay, okay. But you would get basic dental. You get basic dental. We might pull them motherfuckers. We might pull
Okay,
them
I see what
bitches.
you're saying. So
You know what I'm
extract. Okay,
saying?
so you're
We
saying
gonna get you, yeah,
extractions.
extractions, certain surgeries.
Okay.
We gonna let you have a cyst or a abscess and shit like that.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying? And if the
right.
plan is done right, I would like to even push it to basic dentures. But I know that would be a push. Those things would be
That
more
would be a
of a.
push.
It would be a
That's
push.
cosmetic. It's
Yeah,
cosmetic. Yeah,
exactly.
that's yeah,
Cosmetics and shit
yeah.
like
That's
that would be hard to push.
right.
But I think you should get basic motherfucking dentals. Go get that bitch pulled.
Because
Go
yeah,
get it out of there.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Because if a person say, and then like I said, it's based on like say dentures. That's based on the cosmetics. Then
yeah,
the same person can argue and say, well, I need a boob job, I need a
yeah,
butt job, I
yeah,
need a tummy tuck, I need
yeah,
this and that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So,
yeah.
like, where do we draw the line? Because
Well, I think that's
there's
where
some
you
black
draw it.
women going crazy. Okay, but how do we define that though? Because like I said, dentures can
You
be seen as also as something like, okay,
basic,
where do we define the line between needing
basic
dentures
medical,
and dentures?
needing dentures and dentures being
Yeah,
cosmetic.
right.
I mean, I don't know what dentures do yet. Do they help you chew? Can you eat with dentures?
Yeah, some can argue that. You can argue that point.
Okay, I've seen people take them out and stuff like that. It depends on the function of a function of what dentures do. I thought largely they were cosmetic, and so
I
if
Well, like I said, I've heard people say they eat better with dentures, and I've heard people say they take their dentures out
yeah,
and gum they damn food. We
yeah,
got I'm not gonna mention his name, but we just call him Godfather. He'll take his shits out and start munching on a hamburger, bare gums and shit.
yeah,
So I don't
hey,
know.
shit, I know that's right. I know
Right.
that's right. That's how that rocks. So, yeah, it just depends on me. I think that would have to be looked at. What dentures are considered as, if they are medical necessities, then that's one
Right.
thing. If they're cosmetics, then that's a whole nother thing. I'm not like saying go crazy with it. When I say basic health care,
Gotcha.
I mean that. I think everybody should be afforded, the right to go be looked at, to have basic things treated, you know,
Okay.
this and that. Now, if you got to go in for heart surgery and shit like that, and a heart transplant, those are whole other things. And there's a whole nother set of um, attachments and everything that goes with
Now,
looking at pushing it that far.
why do you say that's a whole other thing? Is it because it's based on lifestyle, the type of food that you eat, that will
Largely,
lead to that heart
yep,
condition? Or
yeah, yeah.
okay,
Largely,
okay,
and cost, stuff like that. Right? Absolutely, absolutely.
okay.
So
Okay, so you saying you would actually regulate healthcare based on a person's lifestyle. So if a person is smoking, I don't know, let's just say cigarettes, and I'm not meaning to pick on you smokers, but
yeah, no, go
I'm
ahead.
just saying, okay, but if it's known to cause cancer, should we be footing the bill for, I'm just saying, be hooked up to that machine because now you got emphysema, but we told you not to smoke that cigarette years ago, and now you got complications. How do you look at something like that, brother?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what I mean. You push it as far as you can push it. I would like to see that covered oxygen shit. I think people like to breathe. So I'd like to
Right.
see that, covered. I would push a bill like that as far as I could push it. I would try to extract as much
Okay.
money out of that to cover those things as far as I could. It now, would he be first on the lung transplant list? No.
So he good
You
as
know what I'm
dead.
saying? Yeah, basically. I mean, but
Okay,
to a
okay,
certain
fair
degree,
enough.
like you said, now there is responsibilities that you have to take for yourself. You have to be encouraged to be healthy. You know what I'm saying? You can't be just like, well, the state
Absolutely.
just got me. You have to think about those things like, shit, I got to stay healthy.
Right.
It's uncomfortable to be unhealthy. But yeah,
Absolutely.
as far as like um shit like that, breathing, if trying to find a state to make their home handicap accessible, shit like that.
Right.
I think it has
Right.
to be
Right. Gotcha.
more, yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Well, you
would.
said that with a lot of wisdom, Yang. I can't be mad at you, brother. I mean, everything that you said, you always come with a solution. That's
I
why I'd be
appreciate
like,
it, man.
damn, damn. That's why I'd be
I
like, damn,
appreciate it.
bro. I can't even tack you on that tip, bro.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it,
Cause,
man. I
'cause
just,
yeah,
there
yeah,
can be the way that capitalism is practiced now, the way that we're going into things now, it's just based on outright greed. It's just based on the acclamation of wealth to no purpose, just for acclamation's sake itself, just to have it. You know what I'm saying? So when you go into capitalism like that, you turn everything into a business. That's the ultimate hustle. Capitalism like that is about how can I capitalize on everything? How can I turn this into a
right.
money making scheme? Everything is a hustle. So even your health. This is why I said they'll give us tobacco, they'll give us, all of these things. And I had a friend who has made a transition, but she had cancer. And so we went through the chemotherapy and all of this type of stuff. And not only is it just expensive to go we went to the Sloan Cataract. I mean, we was all in Pennsylvania and New York, just all over. But it's, an expensive lifestyle, getting hotel rooms and the travel, let alone taxing. So yeah, man, and I firmly believe that if they did have a cure for cancer, it being such a billion-dollar industry, I'm not sure if they would let it out. You know,
Mm,
Sickness is a
yeah.
business. Sickness is a billion-dollar industry. You pointed that out one time with the whole debate, man. I thought that was eye-opening for me one time when you pointed out that whole medical mafia thing.
Right.
That was eye-opening for me. How they, are in the business of sickness. That's why they sell us things to, like, not to cure the illness, but to treat a symptom, to trick the body out of the pain sensors. Your body's telling you it's in pain for a reason. That means something is not right. But they sell us
Right.
all of these damn things to bury that pain and to continue in this state of have functionability, because your body is telling you, the pain is saying, hey, either my knees, my back, something's not right, but no willpower, man, I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna keep it pimping, and we keep pushing until we break down, and now we're in the hospital
Right.
with a couple $1,000 bill if we'd have just been, attentive to ourselves, vigilant about the signs, and attentive to what they quite possibly could have meant. Black men too, man. We bad about that. We don't do doctors. Yo, my mouth is closer to my ears, brothers. If you out there, man, yo, man, go get a physical. Go get a physical. And if you're being intimate with more than one woman and not protecting yourself, Negro, go get a damn checkup. Your big uncle told you that. Don't say I ain't tell you nothing. But go get that physical, man. Get your body looked at. Especially as you start getting. I know a lot of y'all young men are Thundercats right now. You feeling it? You know what I'm saying? Y'all really feeling yourself. But go have yourself looked at. Go get yourself checked out.
And Yang, I'm gonna say that's saying a lot, be considering that there's a legitimate phobia amongst black men because, and actually, I was gonna actually earlier in the year have this debate with Akasha, but medical apartheid. It talks about how black men have this innate fear because they experimented on us for so many years. So now they have to break that trust because they had the Tuskegee experiments. They've had all type of medical experiments ever since we came out of slavery, all the way up to I want to say the all the way up to the AIDS epidemic because they were still experimenting in people with that whole AIDS thing in South Africa, Nigeria. So you make a very good point there as far as the black men, and I want to. I was wondering if we could maybe possibly turn that into a debate somehow because I think black men have a legitimate fear that's within our DNA. But however, I mean, I'm just putting it out there, man. I would
I
debate it
agree.
because
I
I'm
agree.
all for the checkups. Right.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
I think that we do, and it is a legitimate fear. I would love to see
right,
us take that fear though and
right,
begin to um, utilize it. Like, one of the things is I'm always talking about generational, protracted struggle, posterity of, for the children's sake and things of that nature. That we
right.
take those type of fears and we encourage our children to become doctors. That we
Absolutely.
encourage our children, that we take that and say, hey, listen, we can't trust anyone looking at us, checking on us. They experiment on us. They do less than honorable things to us. We need our own doctors and really begin to utilize that as motivation, to start to change things. I know we may not see it in our generation, maybe not 2 or 3 generations, but allow that to be something that is in the black community that, hey, overall, we need
I
doctors.
beg to
So
differ,
we go ahead.
man. I beg to differ. I beg to differ, man. Um, I beg to differ. You ain't on that. I
Yeah.
beg to differ on that. Being that we're in Atlanta. Now I know you live in South Atlanta. I wish I could refer you because I know you said you want to get some. You need a dentist.
Yeah.
I can refer you to an all black establishment with all black women. So
Mm.
I beg to differ on that.
Okay.
Ray, I'm
Okay.
just saying.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. When you live in these black cities, you're right. You're right. So that being because
Right.
most everything I go to, I find the black women. So I've been fortunate
Right.
enough to live in Atlanta to have that opportunity and to have that at my disposal. But
Right.
yeah, just as a mass and talking about those places where they don't live in such a densely African populated city, uh, that is just
Right. I
something
got you.
that we encourage, and overall as our people, just black doctors, black lawyers, black
Right.
professionals that represent our specific cause. That even if they don't start out with a specifically or straight black practice, that they do know the plight of black people, so they are um, not just tolerant, but in our favor. They do fight for our cause. They will champion our cause, until we can get these all black institutions and firms that are
Right.
that are solely for us, but that comes with really a customer base and a consumer base. And so us as the customer, as the consumers, have to get past neo-colonialism. Some of us won't even hire a black attorney. Let's keep it 21. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk
Yeah,
about it.
let's talk about it. Some of us ain't gonna. Some of us know. Some of us will go get a Jew because we've been taught to get a Jew boy. Boy, you better get you a Jew. You better get you a Jew. Mm-hmm.
So again, we talking different graphics.
Yeah,
Are we talking about New York City or are we talking about Atlanta?
we're talking about Atlanta. I know some in Atlanta that don't mess with black
Okay, okay.
folks. And one of the reasons is I get it. Not that I necessarily agree with it, but when your life is on the line or your property or there's some monetary uh type of award to be gained or penalty to be had, you want someone that's going to win, right? So a lot of these
Right.
lawyers are good old boys. A lot of these lawyers are good old boys. So you get judges, pardon me. A lot of the judges are good old
Judges,
boys.
okay.
So yeah, so you get the lawyer that move in those social circles. You know how the game is played. They play golf together. They go to the same country club. Their wives play bridge together. You know how the game is. So I think that we think along these lines, and we know if we get this black attorney going into this courtroom off itself, there's going to be some bias. You're a black defendant.
Mm,
You got a black attorney. So I think we just either naturally think. I don't even think it's a conscious. I don't even think we consciously think about it. Some of us do. Some of us be like, shit, I'm gonna give me a white boy. But just subconsciously, I mean, it takes, yeah. When you jump out there like that, you're jumping out there. So some people feel that. It takes real courage to work with us. It takes courage. It takes courage to work with black people. Man, man, you don't know how much I pray. You talk about turning me religious. Black people have turned me religious. Because out of sheer principle, I will continue to spend with black people. And I have been more than disappointed. I shit you not. I have went into places that fit the complete fucking stereotype. Excuse my language. I have been in places that fit the complete stereotype of a bull crap establishment on some bull crap. Like on some real man for real, really. This is a business. Like the employees think it's their personal playground. Just very unprofessional. And so it's easy to get turned off. But I maintain a tolerance because, like, I witnessed one time, man, I was out with a friend, and we got poor service from a sister. And my friend went in. This is what I'm talking about. Yada, yada, yada. I was like, sister. She just went in. I was like, it's all right. Nah, this is what I'm talking about. So maybe, I forget, maybe some weeks later, a month later, I forget how long, we were out again. This time we were at a white establishment. And yeah. And a mistake was
Go
made.
ahead.
Right? The response, can you guess the response?
Oh God, don't make me say it like that. Just say the response. I don't want to be the bad guy.
Oh my God. So I think the white woman spilled some water or something, and she was like, "Oh my God, I'm sorry." And then my friend, "Oh, don't worry about it, sweetie. We all have bad days. It's okay, baby.
Oh
We all have
Lord.
bad days." I couldn't believe it. I could
Oh,
have fell out the
oh
chair.
God.
Yeah.
Oh God. I'm blushing right now. I'm blushing,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah. That type of thing. So
Oh man.
that was my wake up call. That was my thing to me. to remind me to constantly practice tolerance. That don't let a negative experience, don't allow me to generalize because of a negative experience. You know. So that was a wake up. So
Wow.
it's I constantly go back. I'm constantly buying black, and sometimes I get it right. I have my favorite establishments I go into. Man, they spot on. I'm like, man, that's what I'm talking about. Wakanda forever. Yes, this is what I'm talking about, brothers, sisters, yes. And then I had those establishments, man, that I'm like, man, I'm a not only give y'all a bad review, I'm gonna verbally tell people, like, if they even mention your name, I'm be like, man, don't fuck with them, and say it in those in certain terms. Like, I'm gonna say it just like, man, don't fuck with them. They're terrible. So yeah, man, it's crazy. It's crazy out here. So I'm gonna get, but I'm back. I'm back. I just wanted to do the pop up, man. I'm gonna get back in these YouTube streets. I think what I'm gonna start doing is commentary, man. I've been riding these YouTube streets. I've been seeing a lot of things going on. It's crazy. I saw one off-duty Chicago police officer shot this guy that was trying to rob her, and now the family suing her for $10 million. Um, I want to talk about the Will Smith and Chris Rock thing. Like, Will Smith really upset with Chris Rock. Did you see that? Did you see the Netflix
I
doc?
saw it, yeah. I saw it there. I saw,
What do you think?
only in America. That's all I think. That's all I can say. Only in America, baby.
You know,
Only in America.
what do y'all think out there in the chat? No, really. I mean, like, I'm seeing these things with Will Smith and Jada Pickett Smith. They're upset with Chris Rock. This man put his hands on Chris Rock. Chris Rock was player enough not to have Will Smith's ass incarcerated. I mean, he straight assaulted this man for telling jokes. G.I. Jane, looking forward to it coming soon. That's all he said. He didn't call out her name. He didn't. Will Smith overkill.
No, you ain't no, you're not gonna
Man,
get away with that one.
overkill.
You know
Overkill.
how black women feel about their hair, man. Come on, man.
Okay,
Let's
I
come
could
on,
give a
man.
damn,
Come
but
on
Will
now.
Smith was supposed to man the hell up. You don't let a woman play you. First, you laugh. This is what makes him look sucker. Because first you laugh, and then this is your Oscar night. You didn't play yourself on your Oscar night. You were in your emotions. You were not in your right mind, man. You had a breakdown. That's some shit you could have, if
Well,
at the very, if you had to do anything, he could have did what he did from his seat without uh, putting his hands
hold
on
on,
the man.
Yanga. You're going too far, Yanga. Oh no,
Talk
yeah,
to
you're
me.
not gonna just Yanga. We both agree that he was okay with the joke until he looked over and saw his wife wasn't too happy. Now, Yanga, what is the number one thing that black women say on YouTube about black men? We don't
That they don't
defend
protect it.
them.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
don't really protect their honor.
yeah.
So when the man does, now it's a problem. Like, what we doing here, Yanga?
For me, it was I don't listen. I hear him say that stuff.
I
Sometimes I
hear him saying
respond.
too.
Sometimes I don't. There's a thin line for me between protecting your honor and some sucker shit. You know.
Okay, can I give you another scenario? Can I give you
Please
another
do.
scenario?
Please do.
On the show that we did today, the live I did earlier, me and E Bizzle, we talked about Deion Sanders, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so one narrative on Black YouTube that I've always hear when we talk about black men ain't good fathers, black men ain't good husbands, black man. But I was like, E, what he did, we tend to forget on the look of the lens of a black father and a black husband. He did was best for his family. But people talk about, oh, Deion Sanders, he's sold out. He went to the white man's university. He left his university. But what about what he did for his black children and his black wife? What about that? Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, I don't know what's the argument. He
Well,
went to another university.
yeah, the argument was he went to a HBCU and he
Uh
left to go to Colorado, a white establishment, to make more money. Basically, that's the argument. And there was a backlash. Um, I've heard the term "coon you," "sell out," and
wow,
he's a traitor to his people. How could he do that? Blah. I heard it all.
wow.
And I'm like, again, I was looking at the lens from a black father and a black husband. I'm like,
Hmm.
well, what about the black father and black husband doing the best for what's best for his children and
I
best for what is white?
you
I'm,
know
I'm, I'm a little, okay, well, go ahead.
listen. You sometimes you say the craziest shit. Sometimes you can be so outlandish. But you said something one time that was so right on it, man. When we was talking about people selling out. When did Deion Sanders buy in? See what I'm saying?
Oh,
When did he buy
yeah.
in to sell out? I don't never remember him being at the Black Panther rally at a Louis Farrakhan meeting. You ever seen the nigga at a Louis Farrakhan meeting? I've never seen the
Now
nigga
you
at a Louis
sound,
Farrakhan meeting. I've never seen him out there screaming Black Power with a red, black, and green flag. I've never. So when did he buy in to sell out? What he is doing, what Deion Sanders and black people like that do, as long as to me, you're not down in black people, you're exercising a form of black upward mobility. You never said, you
okay,
know what, my dedication to the black cause is going to be stay here at HBCUs to do this for blacks exclusively. Your form of black excellence is through upward mobility, and that is a step up. It's more pay. It's more prestige. It's a prestigious university. This in his world, it is a step up, and he happens to be a black man. You know what I'm saying?
right,
So yeah, I don't necessarily um, look at people like that as selling out because I don't think they bought in. Now it's
okay,
when
true
yeah,
enough.
it's like shit Farrakhan doing to me is sellout.
Okay,
You
well, I
know,
gotta ask what he's doing to sell out. I gotta
I
answer
mean,
the
just
question. Yeah, I gotta
loving
answer the
on
question.
man, loving on the devil. He's accepted the devil. He's accepted the white man, and I think that that's contrary to the teachings of your nation, to the founding of your nation. So that's selling out. When you bought in, now he's selling out, and
Hold on, yeah. Don't make me get all Nation of Islam on you.
mm,
Based on whose teachings? Elijah's teaching or Farrakhan's teachings?
but but he propagates Elijah Muhammad. You know,
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. You
so
know what?
that's
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
All right.
You
All
have
right.
to,
I'm
of
gonna let you.
course, yeah, of course, his teachings, his version of those teachings, and that's why he can get away with it because he has his followers. I call them Farrakhanites. He has his
Right.
followers
Right.
who
Right.
have accepted his interpretation and versions of the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. May God's peace be upon Elijah Muhammad. So you have those
Okay, but
people. Yeah.
I got to make this argument. You know, and I would never debate Farrakhan, but I got to play devil's advocate. So Farrakhan is a leader. True enough, they made him leader. He took on the mantle after Elijah Muhammad died. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay,
One
so
of
as
the
a leader,
like anything, it's controversial. Like anything, it's
okay,
controversial.
I get all that. I
Yeah.
understand all that too.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother show we could do.
Right,
However,
right, right.
being that he is the, let's just hypothetically say, sole survival of the original Nation of Islam, right? So
Mhm.
him being a leader, do you count on that a leader to evolve with the times?
Yeah,
Because he is a
absolutely.
leader in leadership.
You would
So
hope to, right? You would hope that a leader would. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So would you say that a lot of the teachings of Elijah Muhammad is maybe obsolete in modern times? Because I don't remember Elijah. I don't think Elijah Muhammad would have anything to say about hip hop because hip hop didn't exist during his time. So you have Farrakhan. I'm just using a hypothetical that exists in a new time. So there's new things. There's automation. There's a hip hop era. There's a crack era. There's so many elements that did not exist during Elijah Muhammad's time. So wouldn't he kind of formulate and kind of bend and kind of mesh with today's time as a leader?
I think and that's really a great question. I would say though, is a cornerstone has to remain a cornerstone. If not, then you basically, it's like if you change the ingredients, then you change the whole everything that you made. You know what I'm saying? It's no longer if you change your pie into a cake.
But it
When
happens.
you add
But it happens all the
different
time.
ingredients. Yeah, well, then you have. That's what I mean. Then you have something different. Then you don't have the Nation of Islam. You have, like I said, a cake, calling it a pie. And
Right.
now if you have a cake and you add different toppings, that's something else. When you start, if you're one of the cornerstones of your teaching is that black man is God, the black man and the black woman are gods, and the white man is a devil, and not a devil but the devil, and you turn around and get in bed with him and begin to embrace him and embrace their teachings and begin to say that they good white folks and all of this type of stuff, that's something totally different. You're not presenting the same thing, you're just using the same name. So that's why I say that's what I would call a sellout, because that ain't even the same shit no more. That's like what the hell are you talking about?
But how can we apply? You just said like the core. I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah.
The core element. So, but if that core element becomes obsolete, like I said, you're living in a time now where the world is getting smaller, and you got places like China and Russia and so forth practicing capitalism now. So it's like we live in a smaller world, and so we're living in that smaller world. We tend to do business with people we have not done business with before because now the world is becoming a smaller place. And so, how do you maneuver around that? Like, how
I
do you
think
maneuver the mass migrations, the
yeah.
different type of? I mean, because at the end of the day, and this is a topic I got on with Nature Mom. You have migration happening here, and because migration is so prevalent not only here but in other countries, Europe, and mass migrations all over the world, it's detrimental to look at I don't know. I like to just our lifestyles tend to change basically because now
Mm-hmm.
you got migrants changing and shifting the demographics of your politics, I don't know. Yeah, we like I said, I did a show. We did a show on Tunisia, and MD had a perspective on it, and Nature Mom had a perspective on it, and they both had good perspectives. However, when you're dealing with migration, you're dealing with like, okay, so now I had to look at it from an American point of view. Like, do I want this mass migration changing the demographics of the country that we live in here? And so I use that same analogy with the Nation of Islam. It's like, do you have to make major changes because now there's things shifting? Because at the time it was the white man. Ooh, he's the evil devil. But now you got more than just the white man. You got the Arab man. You got the Chinese man. You got the I don't know, the Filipino man. You got the Mexican man. So you got these more paradigms where hell, you don't even see white people as much being in affluent neighborhoods. You got more Arabs, you got more Pakistanians, you got more Chinese, and then you got, so hell, some might even argue and say that the white man has sold out his damn self.
Mm-hmm.
He sold out
Uh,
his birthright.
yeah. I couldn't argue for the Nation of Islam under
Okay.
Farrakhan leadership, but I can speak for if they still hold to a black nationalist tenet, and that they would be stepping outside of that. I think that's the whole fight. That's what we're saying the salvation lies in. The salvation lies in black nationalism. The salvation lies in self-determination and self-sufficiency. Being able to do it ourselves. So the strategies and the tactics should be ones in which black nationalism are put in advantageous positions to thrive and grow. Um, and
And I don't disagree with that, but what I'm saying that like now Nature Mom made a very good point against like reparations. She's saying that man, things are shifting so fast to where, okay, so let's just take, okay, Malcolm X, Black nationalism. We both agree with this basic tenets of, we need to control the economy and the economics and politics and all that country. But now, when we live in a more global society, things are drastically changing before our eyes, and it's changing fast. They're shifting very fastly, and so it's like, the white man is not even loyal to his own country. I'm not even saying white people as a general. I'm just saying you got people who are that have an agenda. Hunter Biden's black laptop people. So what I'm saying is that you have wider agendas that didn't exist back in the 60s, 70s, and even the 80s. I want to say the whole shift came about during the 80s. So now you have a more case in point, like you talk about, okay, we need more businesses in our communities, and we need more jobs, we need more whatever it is, right? Just benefit black people in the black community. But now you got the banking system, you got the IMF. I mean, they're shutting down little banks now. I don't know if you heard about Silicon Valley Bank, but what I'm saying is that now you have the power more centralized from a global standpoint. So it's not even just about battling DC per se. Back in the day with Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, the thing was to go to Capitol Hill and battle, the people in Congress, and that. Now it's a more global. You're battling global corporations, because at the end of the day, they're the ones who call the shots.
I think that's. I'm gonna tell you, if it's a lot to that. I don't know how we're battling
Okay.
global corporations as a people. That's taken for granted that we're amalgamized into just the whole American society. Like,
Okay.
now with so I don't know how we personally will be battling the globalization. I mean, we're not. Here's the unfortunate reality for us: we're not even like functioning a on state levels, let alone
Right. Right.
national
Right.
levels. Let
Right. Right.
so we to uh
Well, case in point, Yankee, what I'm saying is that, okay, the C-19, and I'm saying C-19 because I want to get your channel truck, was would you say it's a global, would you say it's a local state, or was it a global catastrophe that affected the whole world with the whole C-19, with the lockdowns and all that? That was a call that was made globally, not just, okay, just Atlanta, or just in DeKalb County, or
hmm
just in Georgia, or just the United States. That was a global call right there,
hmm
and
hmm
that affected all of us. Yes, some of us
yeah.
didn't make money, some of us did, some of us didn't, but that affected us globally. And now they're saying, oh, well, it's okay not to wear masks now, and it's okay, it's. I mean, uh, that's something that affected us as a whole. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I'm just
yeah.
using as a small
I,
example,
I,
right?
yeah, absolutely. But here's and see, and that's a good example. But us not being inoculated within ourselves, us not having contingency centers, us having to wait to be informed about what's going on, centers that were places that were distributing sanitation and other shit that they were saying was necessary during that time, us not
Right.
being nationalized. Like I said, from lack of information to mobilization. Us not
Whoa, whoa,
having
whoa,
a
whoa! You said it's not. It was not nationalized. It was globalized. It was
Yeah,
a
it was
global
global, but yeah,
catastrophe. Right.
a
Okay.
global catastrophe, but it starts right there in your locale. Like we had shit going on right there. You couldn't address the global phenomena, but you could address the shit right there in your locale. Like I said, if by us, if we were nationalized, like here's what I mean by nationalized and us not being organized on that manner. When all of that shit hit, we had people that were trapped in houses. We weren't mobile. We weren't informed. We were getting
Absolutely.
secondhand
Absolutely.
information. We weren't organized, and that comes from a form of domestication, relying on them not only for information but for medical procedures and medical treatment.
Right. And
You
now,
know,
and don't forget, a lot of the grocery stores are hit hard too. A lot of us didn't have. I mean, once people found out,
exactly.
oh shoot, it's a lockdown. You went to the stores, things were gone.
Things were
They
going
were gone.
exactly.
Right? They were
So
gone,
what was
man.
the network with like Mississippi needs us now? But what was the network of people that had land in Mississippi and running at least running trucks back and forth to certain centers to get our people? We could have got them in eventually some kind of way as aid, emergency relief workers. If not, we're gonna run the damn barricades. But just those type of things, and it comes from a form of domestication, thinking about self-sufficiency, thinking about being able to do for self and building along those lines is challenging for people because that's creative thinking. That's thinking outside the box. So yeah, so
Right.
then even talking that nationalization, had we done that, then we could have had global effect. Because had we been nationalized, had we been informed, had we had this connection, I believe that that national connection only naturally evolves into nationalism, which is revolution with brothers and sisters throughout the diaspora. What does that mean? So if we were nationalized, if we were organized like that, when they were handling our people over in motherfucking China, wherever they was fucking turning us out Africans, handling us fucked up. Of where was that at? China somewhere?
Yeah, it was
I
China.
think it was
Yeah, that's
China.
China. Yeah, yeah.
Then we would have been of the mind we'd have shut these fucking nail shops down, all these Chinese ass soul food places. They got Chinese soul food. All these damn places, these Chinese people are the billions of dollars that we give to Chinese people. We'd have shut that down because we'd have had a
Oh,
connection.
yeah. Hold on. A lot of these Chinese people here, they're not for the Chinese government. That's why they're over here. You do know that, right?
I don't give a damn. Send a message. They'll put pressure on their government. All that we
Hey,
send a
hold
message.
on.
We know.
Hold
We
on.
know.
You
I
think
don't. I don't
you
care.
think hold on. I'm gonna give you a scenario. So you're saying you think the Chinese government give a shit about the Chinese people? Is that what you're telling me?
No, no, no. They may not.
So then why would
They
they
may not.
don't?
But to a degree they do. Don't they have an embassy over here?
They have an embassy, but what I'm trying to tell you, Yanga, is that the Chinese people are rioting as we speak because their banks has zero money. And these people are upset,
No,
like their
I'm
bank
talking about.
accounts got wiped
Yeah,
out. Okay,
I'm talking about at the time of when that was going down, when the everything,
okay,
what we were just talking about going down, when Africans were being turned out. Now that
okay, right,
strategy
right.
may
I
be a
got you.
different strategy, but back then the dollar hurts. I'm saying boycott all that shit. Back then, you have to let them know a connectedness. Now
Well,
shit.
Yang,
I don't know.
I'm gonna disagree with you. I would say, yeah, focus that attention on the government because the government don't necessarily care about the people. I don't think the people should suffer because of like okay me. I'm gonna give you a home example. Let me just get this out. I love the Saudi Arabian people. I hate the Saudi Arabian government. Case in point. But I'm not
I
gonna chastise it. Okay, go ahead, Yang. I'm sorry.
No, I can hear you, but shit, I'd shut it all down, all attached. I'd a mass movement of the people. Us again, yeah, fuck them.
Okay,
But
okay. I
we
mean,
with
hey,
but we're with you, no? Okay, because at this point, yeah, it's a government thing, but now it's a message to all the peoples, the Saudi people, the Saudi government, all of that. We're boycotting anything when they start doing us like that. We boycott the people, because they're
damn.
not like, yeah, because that's what they're doing to our people over there. They're not making a distinction. You know what I'm saying? So we boycott the people. We stop spending money with these motherfuckers. We stop allowing them to send money home. We stop because either whether or not the people are with the government or the government with the people are an extension of their government, of their homeland.
So,
We're sending
Yang, I
money
gotta
back
ask you.
over there. Hmm.
So I gotta ask you a question. Do you support the war in Ukraine or the coup d'état that Barack Obama did, or anything Biden's doing right now?
Do I support it? I really don't give a fuck. I wish they shit and get off the pot. They fucking up prices, man. If they gonna do it, do it. If they ain't, get the fuck out. All of this playing game, this teeter totter.
Okay, cool,
That's where
cool.
I'm at with it.
So should somebody boycott you because of what old Pedal Joe is doing?
But they do it. They do it. You're lumped in. You're gonna be lumped in as an American damn citizen. When they get over there, when shit hits the fan, over in them countries, they evacuate all American citizens. They tell everybody get the fuck
Yeah,
out.
they do.
We don't. They don't be like,
Right,
oh, they're just
right,
mad
right.
at the government. They're not mad at me. They're just mad at the American government. They're mad at Biden. No, they get all y'all asses out of there. Everybody got to go. We want to get rational and logical and shit like that. We're saying the same thing. You know what? Can't nobody get $1. Fuck all y'all. Fuck your government.
But
Fuck your
again,
people.
is that the government making shots or is that the people making the shots?
What do you mean? Like I said,
What I mean?
Yeah. What do you mean?
Okay, go. What I'm saying is, at the end of the day, all those people making those shots, those calls about those Africans, was the government, was the police of the government. So,
Hey, what about the business owners and the hotels and stuff that were turning them out?
I mean, that's a good argument.
Shit, they was getting evicted. I mean, the landlords were evicting them and shit.
Right. I mean, I think that's wrong. I think it's wrong.
Yeah, it was the people. So we get all, as melanated people in America, we get all over sentimental. Fucked over sentimental.
No, I'm not saying get over sentimental. Yeah, I'm just saying, I recognize the difference between. Now, yeah, you can make a good argument about the shop owners, but what I'm saying is that I look at the government first and foremost. You know what I'm saying? I don't always look at the people because the government is not always for the people. And China is definitely showing that right now. They showing their ass right now because then people are mad about their bank accounts are wiped out clean. Like, yo, they are rioting over there. They cracking heads over there. And at the end of the day, I see the government of any nation calling the shots, whether it be Nigeria, Liberia, South Africa, America, China, Saudi Arabia, Yemen. I'm gonna look at the government first and foremost. Now
Yeah, but how do you boycott the Chinese government though?
Man, how do you boycott the Chinese government? So I would do like they're trying to. Well, I guess it didn't work with Putin, but do embargoes on that country. Yeah, shut down the country. I know it's kind of an oxymoron because you're hurting people at the end of the day. It's just like, okay, well, we're gonna shut everything down in North Korea. Well, you're not. Kim Jong-un's not suffering because he's fat as hell. You're making the people suffer. So, yeah, I get what you're saying. It's a fine line because at the end of the day, you try to boycott the government, the people gonna suffer.
Because
at the end of the day,
exactly. There's no way around it. The people are going to suffer. You can say the government. So the masses of people over here that are limited in power and even more limited in political participation, what they can do is ensure that not another dollar from over here is sent by one of these Chinese to China or to wherever. Because they're taxing their people. The people make the government. So China's going to tax the people. So when the people are sending money over there, it still in some way feeds the government. And we don't have direct recourse, so we don't possess the power or reach to directly affect the Chinese government. So we have to start participating and using the power that we do possess. And that's the limited consumer power we possess. We don't have to spend a penny with them motherfuckers. So at that particular time, when they were being very discriminatory against African people and just outright, fucking racist and rude, for lack of better words, yeah, then I think that, a boycott would have been in order. We start, you might have to give up on the shrimp fried rice, the chicken chow yung, for a moment, and whatever else these Chinese people are servicing. They all look alike to me. So I said this one time before, they was like, brother, those are the Koreans. Brother, those are the. I was like, oh,
right. Well, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, well, I get what you're saying. But what I'm saying is like, okay, case in point. Okay, so when Fidel Castro moved into Cuba, he kicked out all the people he felt were the undesirables. Now,
Yeah, yeah.
those Cuban people were against that government. And what I'm saying is that a lot of Chinese nationals are against the Chinese government, was what I'm saying. More than likely, not saying always, but when do you, well, you're saying there's no distinction. You're saying fuck all of them.
Yep.
And what I'm saying is that a lot of those people are enemies to that government that you want to hurt. You want to damn put pressure on that Chinese government. And what I'm saying is that a lot of those people that are over here, that are Chinese nationals over here, don't agree with the Chinese government. That's why they're over here in the first place, Yanga. And
Like you
they
said,
might
you
have family. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
What I'm saying is they might have family back in China that they're trying to get over here.
Like you said, even if sanctions were slapped on them, the people are going to be affected. That isn't even
Okay.
what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is when our brothers and sisters, when our cousins on the continent are treated in a certain way, then yes, it should be a blow for a fucking blow. We stop patronizing Chinese people. That fucking simple. It's not time to rationalize and who decide who is the enemy and who has direct power and who has just influence and how this is. It must be a mass boycott on them people. Let them figure that shit out on what they're gonna do with their country. But until the treatment of black people over in China is better, we don't fuck with y'all. Just that period.
All
We
I'm
don't want
saying,
to. Yeah.
okay, Yanga. All I'm saying is that sets up a dangerous precedent, is because we did that before with Mansonar, with the Japanese, and now we're paying them reparations because throw every
Who is we?
on the West Coast, American people
You
or America.
exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay, okay. I'm sorry.
You know.
Well, what I'm saying with that attitude, what I'm saying is that right there is a thin line because okay, we you, Yanga, and whoever else is working in the United States of America participated in paying them Japanese reparations, is what I'm saying, sir.
Mhm. Mhm.
So we have to be very careful because, like you said, on the West Coast, during that period of time, they just rounded up the Japanese. Oh, you do Japanese, okay, just round them up. And so the way we had to pay for it, because the government had to pay for it, because you know what the government do? Puts the bill to us. We had to
Mhm.
pay for that because
Mhm.
that set a dangerous precedent. Meaning, okay, well, round up all the Chinese, we lock up in the goddamn Mansonar camps for concentration camps, and we end up paying for that. We still pay their reparations because of a mistake that was made like that, because these were Japanese citizens of the United States. They just happen to be Japanese, but that same attitude will lock them all up, and we pay for that. So I'm just saying, I don't
That's
know,
yeah.
Ganga.
If I was no, if I
I don't
now
know.
that's different. You're talking. See, that's to me. That's apples and oranges. If I was in a position of power and
Okay,
authority, if I was the government, because the government did the Japanese Americans like that, we probably were still trying to
right.
enjoy Benihana's and shit. It's no telling what side of the fence we was on with the bullshit. However, if I was in a position of authority, yeah, I wouldn't take it out on the masses of people. I would go directly to it. If I was in a government, I would take it to another government. I'm talking about as the people. When we see our people mistreated anywhere, this is why I don't wear gold and diamonds and shit. Because when I see the exploitation of Africa and the exploitation of children and women and men who are forced to work these mines, I won't buy that shit. That's just my little silent protest. But I encourage all us that when we find atrocities taking place and black people being at the brunt end of the atrocities, that we shouldn't support institutions that not only either support or directly contribute to the atrocities, but are anywhere affiliated with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit. So if China is treating, and I see Chinese residents, I see landlords, I see the Chinese people treating African people bad, at this particular
Right.
time, my thing is fuck spending a dollar with Chinese people.
Okay. I mean,
Period.
it's a good argument. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not arguing
Now,
against it. I'm just,
if I
hey,
was if
yeah.
I was in a position of authority, if I was in the government, I wouldn't say, okay, let me lock up my Chinese citizens. I would
Right.
like you said, take a direct action against that government. I'd get my allies or whatever, and then I'd start talking about sanctions or either going in that motherfucker human rights violations or either going in that motherfucker. But I wouldn't take it out on
Right.
my so-called citizens until they showed me something that was subversive, something I could look at as being okay. They're planning something over here on this soil, but I wouldn't move out of fear. That's just typical white people for you.
Yeah, yeah, but my argument is this. Just like, okay, with the government, like you said, okay, if they're, Chinese, Japanese, whatever, you know, boycott them. And so what I'm saying is that how do you, well, I guess, like you said, you wouldn't distinguish because I'm saying you got uh, Chinese American citizens that have been here that don't agree with Chinese government or anything that China's doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they're over here.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying. But I mean, I hear the argument. I'm not saying you're
Yeah, it's
wrong
not
because everybody has the right to
right. Such
protest how they
form.
want.
Right.
Right.
It's such form because 9 times out of 10 they probably live in a Chinese community. They're probably
Hmm.
sending money back to China. It's not for me to figure out their politics. I'm making a statement like a statement is being made towards black people in China. So I'm making a
Okay.
statement here. It's just like I dare say they would make the same statement. I don't think that they would look at political affiliations. If we were brutalizing,
Right. Right.
if we were doing something that hell, they got Asian hate crimes now that don't speak
Right.
to political affiliation. So if we were brutalizing an Asian, if we were doing something that was discriminatory towards an Asian, I don't think they would be like, oh, they're doing that against the Chinese government or they're doing that against this particular Asian or they believe that way that, they would all unite. Like I said, man, I dare say again, I think that black people really do that a lot. We rationalize the fight and begin to make these distinctions. No, 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 no. If Chinese people are doing black people bad in China, Africans bad in China, then yeah, we should launch an economic boycott and not support anything Chinese. It's just that simple. Yeah, for
Okay.
me anyway.
I,
Yeah.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying okay.
It's opinions.
I'm just trying to add a little flavor to it. Maybe
Yeah.
somebody in the chat be taking notes so I can get hang on this. I'm just trying to provide
Yeah.
the atmosphere,
Yeah.
yo. But I
Because
mean,
we done went all over the world. We still talking. I got a few more minutes talking about. So if any debaters out there, I know I did a pop up. I'm gonna have to schedule something
right.
so that I can uh get some debaters and stuff like that. And like I said, I'll probably be doing some commentary. There's some shit out there that I want to discuss and talk about. We were talking about the damn Chris Rock and the whole Will Smith thing. So I'm gonna come back. I may play some videos, come back and revisit that. But yeah, man, interesting conversation, bro. Definitely. Trevor, if you're still out
Absolutely,
there,
man.
man, yeah, definitely get at me, man. We'll get that debate in. There, I like that. Is nigga word exclusively ours? That's a good debate. But yeah, we'll get some debates in, man, and do our thing. So I'm around out. Send my shouts out. I appreciate everybody for falling through, checking me out, hanging out for a minute. Again, I apologize for the abrupt pop-up session that I just threw down on you guys. But it is what it is. Shouts out to the commissioners, SVDL, the only league. It's debaters. Son, I appreciate you coming up, hanging out with me,
Yeah,
having
anytime,
this
man. Anytime,
discussion.
brother. Yes, sir.
Angel
Yes, sir.
and everything. All right, fam. With that, man, I'm gonna catch y'all, and I'll catch y'all on the flip.
Peace.
Oh, don't you have an interview tonight, sir?
Yeah, I got an interview tonight. When's your interview? Shoot.
My interview's tomorrow, so your interview's tonight.
Tomorrow, okay. Today at 7.
My
Yeah, yep,
interview's
yep.
tomorrow, and if everything goes as planned, if it pleases the Most High, then we might even have a debate. We should have a debate Saturday. High-powered weekend. Again, check us out the website www.solarvisiondebates.com. You're gonna get the scoring, the ranking, and all of that. Uh, Recap. My man Black Sun has an interview tonight. I'll be doing my shit talking tomorrow. My interview tomorrow. Then we have a debate between. It should be between Ski and the High Priestess Akasha. That promises to be a good one. And we do that, yo. High powered weekend. With that, man, I was sitting there. Like I said, man, I catch y'all on the flip. Peace.
Peace. Peace.